welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a sewing vlog. Oh, the sun's just come out. Today I'm going to be doing a pattern that I've wanted to sew for a while now, and that is the Peppermint Bowen dress. I've got it here ready. It is actually a free pattern from Peppermint magazine. It's meant to be a tent style of dress, very oversized, very flowy. It has ruffles on the sleeves. I'll pop the cutout image here so you can kind of see what the technical look of it is. It is by a designer called Kim from Hubba, and it is a collaboration, I believe, with Spoonflowers. It's really cute, but I am going to be hacking it ever so slightly. My usual personal style is to wear kind of smocky, oversized dresses, but from reviews that I've read of this pattern in particular, it's very oversized. There's a lot of ease in the bust, and I'm very small busted, and I'm also pear-shaped, so I tend to have to make things smaller anyway, but I'm going to be doing a significant amount of adjusting on the actual top half of the pattern just to kind of suit my personal style a little bit more. I will get into that in a bit more detail in a minute, but before I get started, if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new around here, then hello and welcome. I specialise in sewing vlogs and in multi-craft projects, particularly with Cricut, so hope you stick around and let's get started. So I think one of the most important factors with this make is the fabric that I'm going to be using. Now, I've got probably the most garish fabric I could have chosen out of my stash, but it's been in my stash for a couple of years now, and it's been staring at me in the face, and I have just been waiting for this moment to use it. It's by someone called Sarah Hartz, and it's just the most incredible print. I mean, how cool is this? I love yellow anyway, but with spring on the horizon and summer, I thought this would be the perfect match with the Bowen dress because it's going to be a fun, floaty dress in this really bold, eye-catching print. So Peppermint magazine have this really amazing blog post showing people in the community that have made the Bowen and created hacks with the Bowen. It is a design. It's a pattern designed for modification, so it's a really great base pattern if you're a beginner and you just want to try a free pattern and you want to modify it or try out modification for the first time. So in this blog post, I'm just having a scroll through, I really loved Kindred Red, who did a really gorgeous blue version, and then I also really love Island Socialist. So those two particular makes were really lovely, and when I read up on both of them, Iceland Sewist actually has a gorgeous blog post which I'll link in my description box below because I found her documenting the process so helpful. She reduced the top a significant amount, and what I love is that she's a similar size to me, so it's going to be a process. I think I'll make a lot of the decisions as I go, and as always I will put in the description box everything that I've mentioned, where my fabric's from, the link to the pattern, the link to the blog resources that I've found useful, and anything else that comes up through the video. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to undo this pattern and see what we've got here. I did cut this out ages ago when I first got it. Based on my measurements, my body measurements, I'm a size C/D. I think I'm more a size D at the moment actually, because my bust is 35 inches around the fullest part, my waist measurement is 31 and my hips are 41. So as you can tell, I'm a pear shape, and I also have quite a narrow body. So I tend to have to do a small bust adjustment slash small shoulder adjustment on most of my dresses nowadays. And then I have to often have to grade things out on my hips, which is why I tend to go for smock style of dresses, just because I find it a lot easier, because there's give and there's like open ease, if you like. I don't know what the terminology is for it, but when dresses are like floaty and big from the waist down, I just find it a lot easier. So for that reason, from what I've read online, I'm actually going to recut the pattern pieces to the smallest size, which is the size A, I think that is. But any modifications I make, I will leave properly described below. You can see how much ease, so there's my body, you can see how much ease you've got on that side bit, which I don't want. As much as I love an oversized dress, a tent style of dress is probably a bit extreme. So those pieces will be reduced. I'm going to cut out the size A, and then I believe in the blog post that I mentioned, she actually took off, I think it was 2 inches from the square piece. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I do think I am going to cut out these pieces, to take off, so I cut it to a size A, take off 2 inches, and then I'm also going to add 1 inch to the length of the top. Try it on once I've actually put the top together, and then decide if I want to take it up. It's always best to do that option than to cut it short, put it on, and then realise it's not quite meeting your waist. Because another thing I've seen in the blog post, which is why I love the community and the resources out there, is a lot of people saying, especially if they've got a fuller bust, that this particular pattern is designed to sort of fit just under the bust seam. But obviously if you have a fuller bust, some people were saying that it didn't go over their bust. Basically this part where it sits underneath your boobies, so some people had to adjust it to make it bigger. But obviously because I've got a small bust anyway, I don't want to take the risk of just cutting it out as is. I'm going to add that extra inch just in case, and then I can always take away if I need to. I'm also going to take away the pocket. I don't want to do a pocket for this dress. I actually want to do ruffly skirt and do, I think I'm going to do 2 tiers, but I don't really fancy doing a pocket. Hello my lovelies, before I cut this pattern and hack it, I wanted to show you what I am doing to it. So anyone that's coming to this as a beginner and you want to take the knowledge I've learned from all the other blog posts, this is what I'm doing. So I have got my bodice piece B. This is the piece with the like sort of more V neckline, if you like. But the beauty of this pattern is you can wear it front or backwards, either way. So likely I'd wear it with the buttons at the back, which is why I am going to actually take off as well 1 centimetre from this on the fold line here. On the other blog posts I've seen, I haven't seen anyone else do this, but I just know from in terms of myself, I know that I always struggle with my centre fronts being too gapey because I have such a small bust. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I also, just to note, I cut out the size C here. So when I actually cut out my fabric, I'm going to add 1 centimetre as well onto the height of my neckline. So you just need to also bear in mind that that will alter this facing. So at the moment I've got it with this centimetre fold like this, and obviously that fits on like that. But what I need to do when I amend this pattern piece so that it has an extra bit of fabric for the length of my neckline, I need to alter this pattern piece as well, this facing piece, so that it has that extra bit as well. So just bear that in mind, because when it comes to sewing facings, if you're like, oh crap, I forgot to also alter the facing piece. Yeah, and then I'm also going to take off 2 inches, as I mentioned, on that side piece. So yeah, and then same with this one. This is going to stay the same. This is the button up side, so I don't want to alter this side with the scoop. I'm altering this side and taking that in by 2 inches. So there we go. I'm just going to cut that all out, and I might even make myself a little toile just so I can double check and make sure that it's fitting beautifully. So because of the amount of changes I'm making to this bodice, I have decided to cut out a toile of the top, but I am going to sew it up in a fabric that I would probably wear it in because I don't like waste. I've got this cute like bed linen, or like, I don't even know what you'd call it, like a cottony type fabric that I was actually going to sew. I was going to sell this, but I'm going to delete it off my Vinted and just use it. I think it's really cute. So yeah, oh, it's an old curtain, and I've decided to also add 2 inches to the bottom of the pattern pieces. I'm back in the studio and I'm continuing to work on the Bowen dress. It's been about a week since I started filming this. It's going to be one of those bakes that just takes me a little bit longer, and sort of sewing here and there as I can, just around work and mum life and all of that kind of stuff. But I find these are the projects that I always feel are the most rewarding, because I have to find little snippets of time to work on them. So I made the toile, which is sat here in a mess on the mannequin, but I did try it on and I took some process photos which I'll upload. The looks of it when I actually put it on, and I'll show you on here, even with that extension to the pattern that I did, it's still coming up too short. So even though this pattern is meant to sort of sit on your bust apex, like at the bottom, I think it is just right at the bottom, I still find that it is coming up too high for where I want it. I want it to sit on my waist measurement. I'm actually going to, well I have already, I'm going to extend it. I think I've extended it 4 inches now rather than the 2 that I originally said I was going to do. So the new pattern piece, I've added like a bit at the bottom, and then I've even curved it ever so slightly to allow for the centre and the back, because it sort of rises up in the middle like this. I can't tell you the technical reasons why patterns do that. I'm guessing it's to do with the curvature of your bust. So I've added a slight sort of circle shape. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I'll show you the new amended pattern pieces, and then I'm going to cut it all out in the actual fabric. Another thing that I've noticed is the armhole is ever so slightly, not small, but ever so slightly like it's just sitting a little bit weirdly. So I'm hoping with that extension it will just sit a lot better. So here are my new front and back pieces, and as you can see that bottom is curved. So let me check because it's on this side. Oh yeah, so I've added 4 inches on the middle where the what do you call it, that's the button placket down here, and then this bit is the centre front. So it's longer in the middle and then it goes up towards the side. So this measurement here is the sleeve. You've got the sleeve and then you've got the side seam. It's all in one. So that's kind of how it works. So yeah, I'm going to go and cut these pieces out now, and I can make a start on it. And as you can see, I am here with my Bowen dress progress. So the top button plackets are sewn together, and I'm now about to make a start on the ruffled, well the gathered sleeve pieces in order to pop them onto the shoulder seams. I will show you what that step looks like. So it's this step here, gathering in that shoulder piece or that sleeve piece, and yeah, it looks fairly straightforward. So I'm just going to pop 2 rows of gathering stitches on those. So I've got my sleeve ruffle pieces here. So now these pieces are gathered, I am going to place them on my pattern pieces. So where the notch is for the underarm seam, I've actually just extended it by 1 centimetre, just because where I cut out the smallest size originally, on the toile that I made, I found that the underarm seam was just a tad too, not tight, but I just was getting gaping around here. So what I'm going to do is I've extended it by 1 centimetre and I've pinned where that notch is, so that I can put these rectangular panels 1 centimetre over that notch. So the notch is here, and I'm going to pin the pieces right sides together, just overlapping it by 1 centimetre, because that will become the new seam allowance. So what we actually need to do now is gather that piece so that it fits on that seam, that edge. I'm going to find the central point of it. I like doing this with gathering because it just makes it really nice and even, and actually just speeds up the process. So on that rectangular piece that has the gathered stitch lines in it, I found the central piece and I've put a pin on it, and I know that that pin will then sit on that shoulder seam. So I'll pin it there. So now I've matched up that central piece, that central point, I've matched up the notches, and then we have this much in between to gather into place. Also, when I sew gathers, I always sew the gathers with the right sides facing up on the sewing machine, so that when it comes to actually gathering, my bobbin stitches are on the wrong side, so I just know straight away what ones are the bobbin stitches. And when you pull your bobbin stitches, you'll find that they pull easier. Lovely. And then we have our gorgeous gathers like that. There's our other side. And I'm going to repeat the process with that bit and then the other sleeve and stitch them. And I'm going to stitch them in between notches, so not right from the end. You should have an overlap of 1 centimetre on each side. So they are sewn in, but before I go ahead and do the side seams, I am going to put my buttonholes in. So I'm using these really gorgeous flower buttons. These are part of my own brand, and it's a collaboration that I made with Pigeon Wishes. So in order to get the right amount, I sort of just laid them on, and I just, can't speak. I decided I wanted to do 5 buttons. So I've used my awesome little button ruler to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, laid it out and just put a dot on each piece. And I started with this corner bit there because that's where it's going to start, and then I made sure to check that the buttonhole would fit within the seam allowance. So that's kind of how I gauged it. So last bit that I'm going to do, I've just done my lovely buttonholes. Let me show you those gorgeous buttonholes. I'm now going to pin my sleeve and my side seam together, and I'm excited / nervous for this bit because this is when it becomes essentially a functional top and I can see if it fits well. So I'm like, nervous, but you know what I have is what I'm left with. So I'm going to start off, do you know what, I'm going to start by pinning. Actually, the wisest thing to do would be to pin at that point first. And when I say at that point, I mean at that 1 centimetre point that we left. So I'm going to pin that. You get to have a look at my nails as I reach for the pins. I do my own gel nails, by the way, on Instagram if you're interested, because I seem to get quite a lot of questions about them every time I share my nails. I have a full Instagram story highlight that shows like the kit that I use and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. So start up to that 1 centimetre point and then stop, back tack, and then I can do this bit separately up until that 1 centimetre point. That's what I'm going to do. Cool, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I've just tried the top on. I haven't hemmed the sleeve yet, but the fit is so cute. That extra piece, or that extra measurement that I put onto the bust is actually perfect. I even probably could have done 1 more inch. Instead of 4 inches, I could have done 5, but I'm super pleased. And I think once I've got that tie belt around my midriff as well, it's going to just look so cute. But look at the sleeve, because it sits like on my shoulder like a cap sleeve thing, it's quite unique. Let me put you down here and then you can kind of see it a bit more. Obviously it needs an iron as well, but it's so cute. I love it. And then imagine the skirt. So that's the back button bit, and imagine the skirt all like another, like a ruffly tier and then another ruffly tier. I don't know, I do like the drama of the sleeve. But yeah, cool, that's my sewing session done for today. I just have the skirts to do now and hemming, but yeah, I'm super pleased. It's coming together and it's looking super cute. So the dress is coming together. I just now need to decide, well, the sleeves are hemmed, but I might cut them off. So upon trying it on last night, I just found that the sleeves were way too much, like too baggy on me. So I'm thinking of like halving this piece a little bit, so it's more like that size, and I think that will be better. But let me turn it around and show you the beauty of it. How insane is that? It's so gorgeous. I love it so much. So try to move the mess around so you can get a better picture of it. If I stand back a little bit. So yeah, it is beautiful, and I really love the way it kind of falls there on that body. I don't think it's obviously meant to do that, but the weight of the skirt is sort of like pulling it down, and it just looks so pretty. So yeah, I'm really glad that I took a bit of length off of the skirt. I now feel like it's like the perfect length, and it's going to look so cute with sandals or even like heeled boots. But my last decision is the sleeve, and I know there's probably going to be people in the comments like, no, don't touch the sleeve, but honestly, when I put it on, it is like too much, if that makes sense. Like, the sleeve is just too big on my sort of body type. From the back it looks gorgeous, and I do love the sleeve, but I'm just feeling it just being a little bit shorter, like there kind of thing. But yeah, how beautiful. I love the fact as well I can wear it with the button up the front if I want to, or I can wear it the other way, and the big bow as well. What I've done is I've put it into the waist seam just above the actual seam, so it like tucks me in just before those nice gathers. And then I just need to finish off the ends because I left them open so that I could do the bow up and see if I like the length of the bow itself, and actually I'm loving it. I'm loving the drama of these like long tails coming down, so I'm going to keep those. So yeah, I'm just going to take up the sleeve a little bit, probably a few inches, and finish the ties, finish the hem, and we are done. So I will show you what it looks like on. And here is the finished dress. Oh my god, I love it so much. I will insert a video of me in portrait on the side so you can see it in all its glory. I'm so pleased with it, you guys. It's turned out so cute, and I will do a full write-up on the blog of all of the hacks and differences that I made to the pattern so that you know exactly how I achieved this fit. The dress itself, the Bowen pattern, is very oversized. It's like a tense mock dress, so I didn't want it so heavily oversized. I just wanted a nice kind of smocky shape that would go with all of the frills, and I'm really pleased with the finished outcome. And also the sun has just come out today, and I feel like this dress has given me all the dopamine and the sunshine, and spring is coming, and I just feel like it's the perfect transitional dress into spring, and I just love it so much. I cannot wait to also style it in summer with sandals and just go to the beach with this on. And yeah, I'm just so in love, you guys. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing it come together. I will leave the link to my blog post in the description box below, as well as where you can download this pattern because it is free on the Peppermint magazine website. If you love this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. If there's any other sewing patterns you'd like to see me sew up on this channel, then make sure to let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!